Information is power.
All right, everybody, this is going to be an interesting one. We got Africans that want Africans out of their country. This is crazy. Like, I got to be honest with you. This is why black people in America, we have every right and reason to delineate ourselves, because the Africans delineate themselves from other Africans. I mean, you've got a situation in South Africa that's explosive, where they're telling Nigerians and they're telling Ghanaians, get the hell out, because they don't like the fact that it's affecting them economically, socially. Let me put these thumbnails up here for you to take a look at, everybody. This is very interesting stuff right here. South Africans take the law into their own hands. You've seen the videos that have been out there on social media. 1 in 3 people in South Africa, Africans in the workforce, are unemployed. Now, is that because of the immigration issues in South Africa, or is that simply because the government of these countries in South Africa are so corrupt? And then when you see black people going against each other, Africans going against each other in the continent, there's 54 countries, if I'm not mistaken, in the continent of Africa.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
And I'm going to tell it right now.
Somebody gonna have to.
I'm going to tell it. How can they expect to be unified? They're being fragmented by their tribal differences, right? And they're going after other Africans. So therefore, when you see African people that come to America and then they criticize black Americans and say that we haven't done anything to be successful because they're going to school and getting education. Well, at the same time, you're leaving your countries because you can't make those countries better over there. Now, this is what's crazy about this. I'm going to show you a video where you have a woman, or you have South Africans telling a Ghanaian man, why don't you go back to your country and make it better? They're saying the same thing over there in the continent towards other Africans. And you could say that it's a crab in a barrel mentality. You can say it's xenophobic, that it's something that is, dangerous. Let me just put this up here too. So there's a tax on foreigners, other Africans against other Africans. It's a sad commentary, because this is where I have to land my foot on this situation. We as black people, we're being encouraged by people who call themselves Pan-African. You've got the Umar Johnsons of the world, who's always getting on his Billy pulpit on social media, constantly telling black people, my Africans in America, my Africans this. He's calling everyone African, Africanizing everyone. But the question is, would they accept Umar Johnson in Africa if he was living over there, taking up a job opportunity from another African in South Africa? Because that's what they're saying is going on, that other Africans from Ghana and Nigeria are impacting them financially. Nigerian federal government kicks off a rise in xenophobic tension against Nigerians in South Africa. Protect Africans, stop xenophobic behavior. But these are the realities, everybody, that we need to keep in mind. These are the realities. And it's also the hypocrisy of people like an Umar Johnson that would say Africa this, Africa that. The question is, are black Americans, would we be accepted? Because if we're coming over there with money to buy land, there's been incidents where black women have brought land in Ghana, for example, because Africa is not a country, it's a continent by all means. But we've had cases of Americans who have left Africa to come back to America because there were some things that they didn't like. And you have people in some of those countries that if you buy land, that land was maybe owned by their ancestor and they want it back. But this is a telling tale when you have Africans fighting against Africans. And then we got people over here telling Black Americans that we should not delineate when these folks are delineating against themselves in the continent where we've got individuals like Pan-Africans telling Black Americans that we should bring our Black you-know-whats over to the continent, leave America, go over there and settle over there. And they've got all kind of corruption in the country, corrupt leadership, people fighting. They have unemployment. They have all sort of issues. And that's why you have Africans wanting by all means, let's just keep it real, everybody, by all means, they want to get out of Africa. They want to get here to America, while we've got people telling Black Americans to leave America to go to Africa and settle there in a country like Ghana, Nigeria, when you've got Africans in various of these countries in the continent who are trying to get the hell out of Africa.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
So what does that all say when you've got Africans going against each other? Let me put this up here just for a minute. I'm enlarging this. Let me go over here. I want to go back to this particular statement right here. This right here. Now, you got hundreds marching in Johannesburg. This was over the past weekend against illegal migrants as shops closed their doors. This was on May 4th, 2026, just a week ago. We want it to end like that, but we don't want to be pushed further than where we are already. These folks are serious. I'm going to show you some footage to drive home the point of what I'm showing you here. Let me show you this right here. We've got, this is more right here, anti-immigration backlash, South Africans 2026 protest groups. Violence and looting and impact on services, government response, raised deportation, warning of xenophobic atmosphere, rising tensions in South Africa. And you got to ask yourself, again, I'm going to say this again, if Africans in the continent are getting tired of other Africans coming over from their point of view and sucking off the resources to the point that they're unemployed, they don't have opportunity. We're talking about those that are, that are struggling out there. Then how do you think they're going to perceive Black Americans? You see, this is one of those areas that we must, deal with and recognize. How do we get perceived by the same Africans who want Africans out when in some ways they will see us as foreigners as well, as they say they want foreigners out? So I just wanted to lay that out. Let me go ahead and show you the first video that will definitely be a shocker. So what's happening here is that there is riots in the street, or there's fights in the street. South Africans, Zulus, they're out there in the streets and they're trying to drive out other Africans who they see as foreigners. And then we wonder why the continent can't strive as one and prosper like they should. And it makes it easy for the other groups to come in and get what they want. I got just stick around. I got some interesting things I want to say about this, but let's continue.
Satamaya.
Look at this. All right. They're fighting each other. But this is the crazy thing about it. You've got the Chinese that have been over there in Africa, places like South Africa, Ghana. You've got Europeans that have been raising all types of problems for Africans. To their credit, South Africa has put up a fight against those Afrikaners, those racist Afrikaners that the racist Ku Klux Klan President Trump brought over here. Remember, this is from the Washington Post. Trump shuts out refugees, but makes white South Africans a exception. This was Africans in South Africa who may have wanted to come to America and did not get their opportunity because Trump was only interested in doing what? Bringing more white people into America, particularly racist white people that have oppressed South Africans in the apartheid system. Those that have still were a part of it, those that have benefited from that particular time and period, white folks. So Trump brings these white folks over here to reinforce more races into America. And to South Africans' credit, they have given these Afrikaners smoke. You have seen footage of them over the years, taking back farms, attacking, white farmers who they deem have stole their land, have harmed their family members in some way or capacity. And you've seen that. But I still have a problem with seeing this sort of thing happening when you have, let me take this off here, folks. When you have Africans impacting other Africans. So my feeling is that when they come to this country called America, y'all really can't talk no smack about Black Americans because some of y'all over there can't get along with each other, and you're getting involved in the xenophobic behavior, no different than what you would claim Black Americans are doing, because Black Americans are saying we're going to delineate ourselves like every other group does. But let me show you some more video here. That's is very interesting stuff here. Check this out.
Satamaya.
Let me take that off. Now that's not the video I want to show you, but what I want to do, this is really a damn shame, everybody. Really, really a damn shame. Let me show you. This is the video I want to show you right here. Here we go.
Continent. This thing of you guys moving from one country to the other, it's no longer working. We don't want this as African people anymore. We are tired of seeing African migrants moving all over the world, refusing to fix your own countries. Now we're making it very clear to you guys, Utitina, we don't want you here. We want you to fix your countries. Now you came here with a traveling document.
Now, do you hear what this sister here is saying? She's South African. You hear Black Americans saying this a lot on social media, on panels, on TikTok, and debates with conversation that they're having with people from the continent, which is, hey, why did you come over here? Why have you not fixed your own country? Why do you come over here and have criticism for Black Americans, but yet you come from a country that has a lot of turmoil? Now, when Black Americans make this statement, Black Americans will be criticized as, once again, xenophobic. Even though you've got that, you can say that you got that happening in South Africa right now with the way they feel about Nigerians and Ghanaians, right? But Black Americans will be criticized for having that position. But here you have a Black woman who is South African who is saying pretty much the same thing that you can hear Black Americans say here in America. What am I trying to say is that they've got the same issues over there as it relates to how they want to delineate themselves from other Africans in the continent, even though we as Black Americans would be criticized for delineating ourselves. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Do you understand where I'm getting at here? We are criticized for delineating ourselves, but they are doing it, and you're hearing it, and you're going to hear it right here. Let's continue.
We are tired of seeing African migrants moving all over the world, refusing to fix your own countries. Now we're making it very clear to you guys, Utitina, we don't want you here. We want you to fix your countries.
Did you hear she said that we're tired of Africans moving all over the world? This is coming from a perspective of someone who's African in South Africa, country in the continent. And Black Americans, we get criticized when we make these statements to Africans here in America. I just want you all to think about what I'm just saying. Give me your honest comments. Am I wrong? Am I right? Let's continue.
Now you came here with a traveling document. You came with a passport. You know that you are a visitor, but now you decided to come and integrate in our communities. You know very well that what you have done is wrong.
How many children do you have here?
We can come to Ghana and do what you're doing.
Passport.
Eh? Now you are carrying your bucket. It's 11 a.m. You were supposed to be fighting the government of Ghana there to ensure that they're getting things right.
Now, this is interesting because this is the same government in Ghana that came before the United Nations claiming the statements that there was the slave trade, that it was a horrific thing that happened, which it was. But you see that they were doing that because they were looking to get the bag of money. But I even said on a video that I did about that whole situation and with the United Nations and the Ghanaian president that in Ghana, they have slavery, a form of slavery in the way they treat children. And they take advantage of them on fishing boats and have them working under poor conditions in a slave-like system. That they need to clean up their own issues in their country as they have the nerve to come over here to America and make claim to a reparations movement that Black Americans have been standing up for years and decades. Let me get back to this. This is very, very interesting.
There's no fight in Ghana. You must fight what they
Where's
did.
your papers?
Passport.
Passport.
Where's the passport?
Take it out.
Let me see your passport. Let me see. Luna. Okay, tell me, who's the police officer that you are bribing to certify these things for you? Baba, let me tell you, I'm not
Check the
foolish.
date.
These things, let me tell you, ne?
So he's making a claim that this man has bribed a police officer to get fake documents. And let's just continue.
You know, by law, you're not supposed to certify as an immigrant. You're not allowed to certify your passport.
No.
Okay, why do you certify your passport in a foreign land?
Okay.
Let's just start there. Why do you certify your passport in a foreign land?
You see, it was raining.
You guys start on Facebook. How you?
It was raining these days. And when you go out with the passport, sometimes it gets spoiled. That's why I satisfy it so that it won't spoil.
Baba, Ghana don't do that.
Okay.
Ghana don't do that.
All right, sharp.
Ghana
Let me
is the
show
only
you.
African country that is.
Let me show you that
on our side, they
when
are
you are
doing the
abusing
same
our
thing.
systems, ne? On
Don't do
the
that.
10th
Go
of
home.
April, again, the 10th of April, you entered your country when? The very same day you came back. When? Yeah, it's a proof. Yeah, proof. Yeah, the proof.
That crocodile can't go.
You went to Ghana on the 10th, and then you came back.
No,
Because here it says you exited Ghana to South Africa. When? Here it says you entered, here you exited. And it's the same date. It's the 10th of April, 10th of April.
This stamp you got there in Elov Street on the street. This is where you got the stamp. Oh, they've got a connection here.
no. It's
I am telling you, that's where they buy it from.
no.
Whoa.
I'm gonna tell it.
You guys here, they're all over that guy. They're talking about the papers are fake. They're saying, why did he certify his paperwork in a foreign land? They're saying that they're sick of people from Ghana coming over. This is what was happening on the ground, which manifested the protest that you witnessed or you had a chance to see on social media, where they had a big protest. in South Africa. I want to put this up right here. Diplomatic tensions. So what they're looking to do is that Ghanaian foreign minister protests xenophobic incidents with South Africans. Political reckoning, high-profile figures, including Zulu kings, urging foreigners to leave. Deportation surges in 2025, 2026. South African ramps up immigration enforcement with hundreds and thousands deported out of the country as South Africans are telling people from Ghana, get the hell out. These are other Africans. I don't know what other way to call it, but these are other Africans. Now, let me show you another video. This guy that you're going to see, this guy was how can I say it? I hope this is the right video I have for you. He was a merchant. He's selling goods in the streets of South Africa. They approach him and tell him, what are you doing out here? But let me just play this for you. He's from Nigeria.
Sure. How come you're here in South Africa selling clothes? How did you come get here in South Africa selling clothes?
I didn't come to South Africa today. I'm here for a long time.
I never asked you that question. I never asked you how long have you been here. I said, how come you are in South Africa selling clothes from Nigeria?
How come? Well, this is what I'm doing for living. I don't know what I'm finished, but the only thing is what I'm doing to feed my children.
Where are you staying?
They're in my house.
In my house?
Yeah, around here.
Okay. In South Africa?
Yeah, in South Africa here.
How long have you been in South Africa?
My son now, my first son is 18 years old. Just think about that.
From now on, no illegal foreign nothing.
Do not want any.
Everybody knows me. Even this Baba knows me very well.
No.
So this guy is from Nigeria. They don't want him. They don't want him there. They don't want him even selling his good. He talks about how he has I believe a 15-year-old son, or he has a son. I guess the son's in a relationship with a South African young lady. I think that's what I'm hearing correct in the dialogue here. The bottom line is he's a merchant. He's selling goods. He's from Nigeria. They want him the hell out of their country. These are Africans telling other Africans they're not welcome. I'm going to say it again. If Africans in this particular situation with South Africa, because Africa is a 54-country continent, so, with this situation with South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana, if this is the tension that's occurring, where do Black Americans stand in this whole thing if we were to travel over there and wanted to sell goods, wanted to open up a business, buy land? What they also tell us to get the hell out because the Chinese are over there, other foreign people are over there. You can make the argument, why are they not treating the other foreigners in South Africa the same way? Now, to their credit, as I said before, they have put up some fight against the Afrikaners who have occupied them for years and decades and have land and have farms where they have treated other South Africans poorly. I've even seen video where Afrikaners, these white Afrikaners, are beating up a little girl. I feel like more smoke should be put on the Europeans that come over there, the Chinese, the other groups that come over there who cause issues for them. They should put some smoke on them. If they're going to put smoke on people that are in the continent that damn near look just like them. Just my opinion. Let's continue. We
don't care if he knows you or not. We don't want foreigners in this town.
From now on.
We are fixing our South Africa now. We don't want foreigners. If you are illegal or not.
I'm married here.
You don't care.
But my
take your wife and go home. Take your wife, then take your wife and go home.
Huh?
Take your wife and go back to your country. It's fine.
Says take your wife and go back to your country. We do not like foreigners here. We are not going to take any. That's basically what they're saying. They're not going to take it anymore. They don't want foreigners in the country. They want you out. And the question again, does that include Black Americans that have moved to some of these places in the continent, like a South Africa, does that include Black Americans? You let me know.
You are married. That's fine.
Although she's late now, I have children to raise.
Take your children and go raise them at home.
Don't waste the time, Baba. We are not playing.
No, I'm not. You see,
All right,
I'm not fighting with you.
Okay, now.
You cannot fight with us. You cannot fight with us. We are addressing you.
Yeah.
The word fight, we haven't said anything about fighting. What we are saying is from now on, we don't want to see you here. This is your last day seeing you here. You understand what I'm saying? Or do you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, now.
Wow.
Not too much.
Clear up.
Now.
This is crazy.
Clear up.
Baba,
Yeah?
don't waste the time. We're serious. We are serious. Why are you sitting down?
They want his ass. They want him out. Wow.
This is not Nigeria.
I said, we are serious.
Close it. Now.
Close now. Close. Now, close.
Boy.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's crazy. They told him to get up while you're sitting down. They want him out. Said, take your wife, take kids, whoever, and you got to get out. We want to make South Africa better for South Africans. You've got to go. That's delineation, as far as I'm concerned. They're delineating not only in their culture, their tribalism, but they're delineating, saying this is our country, and you guys are freeloading off the resources that we're supposed to benefit from. Now, the question you have to be honest and say to this, is this the fault of Africans in the continent that come to other countries in the continent and maybe settle there? Or is their problems really the government? This is just a question I want to bring up to people, because there's an unemployment issue in South Africa. There's a lot of issues economically, but can't that be blamed on the government of South Africa, the people who run South Africa that are in charge of these things? Shouldn't they be pointing? They're out there protesting about foreigners, but they should be protesting the government that is part of the problem, if not the main part of the problem. I'm just saying, you be my guest, give your opinion. Now what I want to show you is the other video here. This is very interesting.
A warrior formation for a war on foreigners, marching across South Africa's cities to warn African immigrants here that it's time to leave.
The leaders of this march are saying that it's peaceful, but it doesn't feel peaceful. They're brandishing weapons. They're in the heart of Johannesburg's central business district, making it clear to everyone here that they do not welcome African foreign nationals.
Wow.
As the city's residents navigate through hundreds of protesters, they're targeted and attacked.
He just tasered him. Feels like a witch hunt. They keep pointing out people that they think may be foreign and then attacking them. We just saw a man get tasered on the side of the street. Are you stopping any acts of violence? Or are you just organizing the march?
Wow.
Even the lighter moments of this march are channeled at telling foreigners to get out. So what is fueling this aggression?
I'm unemployed. There's no employment. You can't find anything. Now we are focusing on the illegal foreign nationals. Yes.
Remember what I said? This is driven by unemployment, right? Lack of opportunity. That tends to be exactly the going, should I say, that tends to be what always happens. That same thing here in America. When you are unemployed, there's lack of resources, then what happens is you have to find someone to blame it on for you not having the benefits that you feel that you deserve and should have. Now, I can understand how an influx of people from another country in the continent can have an impact. But what I also realize is that they should be looking, their government is the problem. These African leaders have been corrupt. These African leaders take resources for themselves, squander the resources that the country has, and allow Europeans and other foreigners to come in and take from the resources. To me, their anger towards other Africans, you could make an argument, could be displaced when the true enemy is those in their government and the foreigners that are European that come in and pillage. The colonialism that they have been under for so many years, a colonial mindset. But my point being, if they're treating other Africans like this, I must drive this home again. What the hell you think they're going to do to Americans who decide to move over there or that are living over there now? They see you as a foreigner. They might tolerate Americans maybe just a little bit because why? If we got paper, if we got money. Why do you think they had this whole day of return in Ghana? Because Ghana has a crumbling economic system, which is why their people are leaving Ghana to go to places like South Africa in the first place. But they have a crumbling economic system, so they had to come up with some scheme, something to generate capital in their country. So therefore, let's bring in the Black Americans because we know they got money. We'll charge them up the yin-yang. They become a citizen. We'll charge them as much as possible to let them infuse money into our economy that's been a failure for them. And you got a failure system in South Africa, which is supposed to be one of the most stable countries in the continent, but they've got problems over there. And then we got people telling Black Americans we should skedaddle, run away from America, skedaddle our way over to Africa. And you got Africans trying to get out of Africa. This is crazy. Let's continue.
We are Black Africans. That's why we are focusing on illegal foreigner. Let me tell you, we go to a hospital, they are illegal foreigner occupying a hospital. You go to school, they are illegal foreigner.
Members of Operation Dudula, the military name of this xenophobic movement, can be seen entering the ground of this school earlier this year, harassing parents in front of their children who they suspect are undocumented. In other instances, they've prevented foreign nationals from accessing healthcare. High unemployment and economic inequality has entrenched poverty in South Africa. But the country is still a refuge to Africans from across the continent, now seen by some here as unwelcome guests in a state of growing scarcity.
Who's to blame for this? And Black Americans, do you really think you want to move over there to the continent? Because we have sort of made Africa sort of this, we have romanticized the continent when the continent has issues. Now, we know that those issues have a lot to do with colonialism that got it in that state. But come on now, you got other Africans treating other Africans like this. What do you think they think about us? Potentially. Some of them could think about us in a negative way too, and would want us to be out of their country because they may think that we're taking job opportunities from them. Let me go to this other video. Let you see this.
Dealing with foreigners.
Now we to fight the racial issue when we are dealing with
illegal foreigners.
If you think that is a problem, why are you not fighting it? Because we have identified this strike. We expect another.
It seems like every monkey comes from wherever it comes from to come and fetch a banana here. This is not a banana country. We need to fight as South Africans. We need to fight. These people are robbing us.
If you think that white people are a problem, Indian people are a problem, go and march and actually do it yourself.
Yeah, and remove this one.
We are men. We can do that.
We are doing this. They must do another part.
At the moment, is this one.
Yeah.
And by the way, you
They are employed to we are not employed.
Let me explain this of African.
They're not happy over there. This is crazy. Let me show you. I got one more video that I want to show you about this subject as we conclude this presentation. This is crazy stuff, y'all.
Private is there for foreign. Public is public for South Africa.
What if someone
If somebody we can give emergency, yes, we can give you, but like general things, no, you go to the private hospital. That's why we make private hospital. Public hospital is for the South African. Public school is for the South African. For sure.
Some of them are even working without a working permit. How is that possible?
Health issues.
But we as South Africans, we are unemployed.
You understand? We can't accept having foreign nationals in high places. Let alone when you look in the streets, they're everywhere. When you go to MTN, they're everywhere. You can't even move around the
they're illegal for them.
Or the pavement.
How do you guys know whether they're legal or not?
Wait, bro. When police come, they run away. When police come, they run away. Why you run away? But why you know they are not doing anything?
We rely on Home Affairs to do that.
This is crazy, y'all.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
This is crazy. This is what's going on over there, okay? And so as Black Americans, should we be bringing our butts over there when they've got all these issues? Should we be running to the continent of Africa? How do they see Black Americans? How will they perceive us when all these countries, particularly the prominent countries such as Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, how do they perceive us when they have these problems happening in their country? And what are we supposed to? This is crazy. And so to me, I don't get why anybody would jump ship and say, let me go to Africa because things are going to be better over there when they've got all sorts of crises and issues in South Africa that really have nothing to do with Black Americans. When we go over there, we're just going to just be caught in the wave of their social issues, which are primarily, I got to be honest, have been created by the corrupt leadership that they have, unfortunately, in the country. Thank you, everybody, for watching the program. You can catch me on all social medias, of course, YouTube. I am on TikTok as well, Instagram, X, and what have you. You can catch me on those social medias. Check me out. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell and notification, share this video on all your social media with your friends, your family, loved ones, people that would be interested in this type of video. I appreciate you all for supporting the channel as you've done so. And I also want to say I appreciate all the new subscribers to the channel as the channel continues to be growing. This situation is crazy. Makes you just like shake your head. Like, what is really, going on? It's crazy. With that said, everybody, this is the Information Man Show. We're going to get ready to get on out of here. I want to thank you for watching the program. And I want to say, y'all take care, peace, and respect. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Feel it, baby, stress is all around us, these high ceilings, and I need it, baby. Pressure and make diamonds, I won't steal it, baby. Silent, baby, hurts to see you crying, know you trying, ain't no lying, baby. When I say I need you, greedy if I have to share you. It was me that all along did you wrong, thinking that I made you
BS3 Network, changing the way you listen to podcasts. You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Tell the truth.
I'll find a way to treat you better. No problem. I'll do whatever. Let it know. Gotta let it know.
She my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret every day. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door.